to hear me, but can you hear my other two peoples?
Hello,
Um,
everybody.
let's see.
It,
You know,
it
My
is
boys.
great.
Boys
I
night.
Yeah.
Boys night.
Jeez. Anyway, yeah, we are gonna see. We had a very odd thing happen. If you've looked at our now second most recent Monster Hunter stream, you can hear Cameron and nobody else. Even though at the time of recording it, everyone could hear us while we were doing it.
Well,
as
I
far
don't
as we
know
can
about
tell.
that because I do that annoying active listening thing where I frequently repeat what everyone says. So there is a chance that everyone heard me talking to myself with very long pauses and just responded to that and thought, yeah, that's normal.
Nah,
I
I
don't
mean,
think so because I was looking at it and I'm like, there's way too long of a pause, and people are responding to things when you are not talking.
yeah.
That's a weird one.
yeah. So, the Atomic Fox can hear Nate.
Oh, but can't hear
Um,
you? That one's weird.
I mean, I haven't checked that because, well, I'm in the same room.
Let's see if Nate can hear you.
Uh,
Hey,
let,
Rain.
let me take a look.
Rain joined the lobby.
Okay. The Atomic Fox says all three of us are coming through on the speakers.
Well, what the fuck?
It must be a thing when it saves.
I think
I
I can hear
just
myself.
can't imagine how
Yeah.
it could differentiate between. It shouldn't be able to differentiate between audio tracks in.
Yeah, inside the feed, like it's where the intake it's where it's
So-
coming in.
Maybe. I guess I don't 100%.
I hear all three of us on it right now.
Actually, there is technically a way. So on OBS, you can actually set some things to only save via recording, or some things to only be during. Oh wait, I don't know how that interacts with Twitch. Never mind. I'm talking out my ass.
Well, no, you're not. We're just like we're trying to brainstorm. It's whatever it is, it's an idea, and I don't have a better one. Should I eat for water resistance or ice resistance?
I don't know.
I'm gonna eat for ice.
Who do you have a harder time with in terms of moveset? Then you should probably eat for that defense.
Yeah, I can beat the piss out of a Mitsune, that's fair. I can dunk on Mitsune all day!
What type is Almudron?
Water?
Water?
Is that in this fight?
No, I'm drawing. Yeah, no water. But he burns you though. He's got like boiling mud.
Burny water. The hot water.
There's a move in Pokemon called Scald.
Yeah, I remember that
Can
now.
leave a Pokemon with a burn.
Yeah, it's like the one water move that leaves burns.
Yep. At some point, I might have to see if there's a Pokemon that can learn Freeze Dry and Scald. So a water move that's super effective against ice, and a water move that can burn, just for shits and giggles.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I did a examination of type spreads for all of the Pokemon to ever exist.
For all of them? How can you remind me how many there are?
900 something. But basically, water type is the most common.
Really, this is the most common type of Pokemon in the entire series.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
According to the numbers.
That I'm trying to think.
Now, is that pure water or is it partial type?
I didn't calculate partial or full. I just I counted both.
Okay. So it is the water typing is the most prevalent typing, regardless.
I wonder if I shouldn't be surprised by that because water is the only Pokemon that has a very specific type of terrain that is absolutely associated with it. Like you find water Pokemon in a lot of places, but in addition to that, if you're out in the ocean, there's very few non-water Pokemon that are out in like the sea routes.
Oh, that kind of terrain. Sorry, so there's some moves called, there's some things called terrain.
Oh, yeah.
In Pokemon. So I was like, but there's electric terrain and
No,
psychic
sorry.
terrain.
Yeah, I see where my language is imprecise. I guess I don't know the better word for it. A route type? Like, because like you can find like Wooper
An
out in
environment
tall
type.
grass, but you can
Yeah.
like if you're out in the sea, odds are you're only finding water. I mean, there's exceptions to that obviously, and there's certain Pokemon that like that kickboxing octopus that's like, oh, it's water. It's like a sea creature, but it's not water type. So there's exceptions.
Grapploft.
I love that design, by the way. I really,
It's a cool
really
one.
like that Pokemon.
It's really cute.
But I don't think of another type of Pokemon that has like just a part of the world almost entirely dedicated to it.
Yeah.
And then
Poison was the most common in Gen 1.
Oh, that's why Psychic was so dang powerful. That and the only ghost types to counter it were also poison.
Yeah.
Yep. And bug types didn't have the stats to keep up.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. Psychic Pokemon just in general were
Yeah,
like
fighting
what's the
Pokemon
worst
weren't all that
Psychic
powerful
Pokemon
either.
in Gen 1? Is it Mr. Mime?
Maybe.
Worst Psychic Pokemon, like in terms of stats in Gen 1? Which one is it?
I'd have to look at the exact numbers. I'm not gonna try to answer that one by the seat of my pants.
What are I guess
Don't
what
you have
are
these
they?
memorized?
There's Abracadabra, and I'm not counting I'm only counting final
Alakazam.
forms. Alakazam's
yeah,
a
Mr.
beast. Mewtwo
Yeah,
is
there's-
Yeah.
Beast
well,
Eater.
Mewtwo
No.
is legendary.
yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Other psychics. Yeah, Mr. Mime.
Is
Hypno.
Jinx psychic?
Oh, Hypno and Drowsy. Yeah,
Oh.
Ice and Psychic, yes.
Yeah,
Hypno
Jinx
might be the
is-
worst,
Yeah.
and it's still not bad.
Yeah.
No, it's
but-
still viable. Just why would you use that?
Yeah, well, and considering how early on you can get Abra,
Hmm.
like, it just does not seem worth it to.
Provided you get really lucky with some RNG.
Yup.
Oh, ride them wyverns. If we're not looking at chat, that's because we are in the middle of hunting. I think someone said something. And I'm just not paying attention.
Monza just waved.
Hey,
Hello,
Monza. Monza, were you on the stream last night? Did you let us down, Monza?
I don't recall if Monza was on last night.
Or
Everything's kind of
actually, Monza, should I say bonsoir?
Okay, here we go. Putting some hurt on this guy.
Try not getting caught in between the two monsters.
Well, you won't get hurt by me, I don't think. Right? Yeah. You also do, like, very little damage to me.
Well, it's kind of hard to dodge if you're caught in between them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you hear Nate say to me, he is Mitsune.
Yes, I am become Mitsune, destroyer of bubble baths.
I feel like it's maker of bubble baths.
Yeah, destroy of dirt.
Maybe.
What's the Mr. Clean
Destroy, yeah.
phrase?
I don't know.
Yeah, something stains, cut stains good, cut stains down. I don't know. I don't remember.
I try not to let ads live rent free in my head if I can avoid it.
Oh,
No,
the
I'm totally
jingles
susceptible to
sometimes.
jingles.
Yeah, it fucks
Totally.
I mean, I said if I can avoid it.
me.
Yeah.
Not always
I'm
doable.
absolutely brainwashed.
Have you ever seen Demolition Man, Osprey?
But nope. What's Demolition Man?
I think it's on Netflix. It is a 1990s.
Is it? Oh man.
It's a 1990s sci-fi flick. It's
Oddly accurate.
It started out as a kind of unique science fiction story that the film eventually just became a Sylvester Stallone like action vehicle.
Yeah.
It's lovely. They for like a really dumb 1990s action flick, and this is early 90s. It has no right being as wonderful with its world building as it does. But it's okay. How to explain it? It starts out in at the time future like 2010s Los Angeles, I believe. It is. I guess I should preface this by telling everyone that this is
dated.
propaganda of
totally.
the worst kind from the 90s. So the LA riots have turned futuristic Los Angeles to a like dystopian hellhole. Wesley Snipes plays I guess like a gangster slash domestic terrorist.
Yeah.
That like he off
Just
camera,
all around not good, not cool dude.
yeah, off camera he and Sylvester
Not
Stallone are like rivals.
Are like arch rivals on either side of the law.
Yeah. And Sylvester Stallone doesn't play by the rules, and that's why he's known as the Demolition Man, because he blows shit up. So, like, within the first 5 minutes, you get, like, get me the Demolition Man, and it's like, they did the thing where they said the title, yay!
So, how early of 90s is this, just out of curiosity?
92? 93?
Yeah,
Early.
like pretty early. It's Sylvester Stallone and Sandy B.
Yeah, Sandra Bullock.
Okay, because I was just kind of curious, because I was born in 91.
So I think after.
Okay.
And I don't think, like, I did not watch this when it released.
When it came
I
out.
was, like,
Yeah, we were like, what, 2 or 3?
But it definitely got played enough on, like, TV and the Sci-Fi Channel that I caught it.
Oh,
and I
hi,
learned to
Tiger
love it. Yeah. Tiger X heard. Oh, you guys talking about Demolition
You guys
Man?
partied? Yeah.
I fucking love that movie. Okay, so the opening scene is Wesley Snipes kidnaps a bunch of civilians and has them held hostage, and he is like holding a ransom, and they send Sylvester Stallone after him to rescue the hostages, and Sylvester Stallone they fight. Wesley Snipes like triggers an explosion or something, and Stallone gets blamed for it, and it kills all the hostages, except like he gets set up for this. So Wesley Snipes and Sylvester Stallone both get tried. Wesley Snipes for his various crimes. Sylvester Stallone gets charged for the murder of all these civilians. And in future LA, their crime or their new prison system that they're trying out at the beginning of the movie essentially cryogenically freezes you, and then I guess like brainwashes you to be a like better, less violent person is the idea.
Yeah, it rehabilitates you, but like by force.
Yes, and don't worry, that idea does get examined in the movie for how fucked up it is.
Yeah.
Because again, this movie is like way better than it has any right to be.
Yeah, not expecting it from a Sylvester Stallone movie.
So Sylvester Stallone gets he gets like put away for like 300 years or something, like it's a crazy amount of time. The life sentence for every person that died as a hostage or whatever it was. Then he wakes up like 70 years later. He gets thawed out.
All right, hunted.
Set up. Oh, sorry.
What's
Oh, I see you, Monza. What's Azure? I'm curious.
Well, it says, a blockbuster machismo movie. It sounds sophisticated. Surprisingly so. It's not the most sophisticated movie of all time, but it's just like, wait, what? If you stop and like, it doesn't even point out the ideas that we're even really mentioning here. It doesn't feed. It doesn't like
subtext.
Display them. It's all subtext, and you're kind of like, wait a minute, is this what they're trying to say?
Yeah. So, and it's like Yeah. So he gets woken up in the future, and fuck. Oh, it didn't hurt me.
No, remember he tries that, but it doesn't. But it's not what he thinks it is.
Well, I think the first thing that happens is Wesley Snipes gets out. He gets out first for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it turns out that
because he had the sort of sentence or something.
Yeah, or he gets out early or something. In the future, like 70 years in the future, Wesley Snipes gets out, and LA is now like a super city, and there's no crime, and it's a utopia, and it's beautiful, and like.
He's like easy pickings.
Yeah, instead of him getting rehabilitated, he got brainwashed with like, at the time, modern like weapons usage and fuck. Fuck me.
That hit a lot harder than I expected.
Oh, he enraged.
Ah, that's right.
Okay.
So
bad.
he basically goes out on a crazy crime spree, and no one can stop him because in future LA, the police are like, there's no crime. The worst crime, like something that scares people and terrifies them, is graffiti. So they are, in this world, they are poorly equipped to deal with Wesley Snipes. He, like, an officer, like, goes to him, and he's using, like, his smartphone. Awesome. We're talking about Demolition Man.
He's like, yeah, whatever.
Hannah could not leave fast
Yeah,
enough.
it's a great movie, whatever.
Like, the first scene is, like, Wesley Snipes hacking into a phone booth to get money, and a police officer, like, goes to try and stop him, and he's, like, reading a script on how to, like, deal with someone who's not listening, and the script, like, his Android phone is telling him, like, speak to him in a firm voice. Put out your hand forward. And Wesley, like, beats the shit out of him, because he's, again, a violent sociopath. So people just aren't equipped to deal with him. He finds out that, like, everyone has, like, is coded with a microchip in their hand, and that's, like, their ATM card and everything. Their like, future social security identity or whatever. So he starts, like, chopping people's hands off and using them in the system. Yeah. It's great. So they're not, the future cops are not man enough to deal with Wesley Snipes. Like, that's in universe, like,
It's
the
like
problem.
if a character from Berserk wound up in the Disney universe.
Yeah, it's like a bunch of Barney Fifes. Which is funny because, like, looking at it now, it's like, no, that's like an actual utopia where you don't have, like, a police force that is, like, running around, like, ruining people's lives. But whatever.
Yeah.
So they... Fuck me! Oh, dodged it. I move like they do. So they wake up Sylvester Stallone, and he's the only cop, like, that's able to handle Wesley Snipes. And it's basically like him, like, a fish out of water story where this rough and tough 2010 LA cop, like, has to deal with the year 2080 and all the like, soft cops. Like, he starts cursing and he gets fined and cited for cursing and using strong language. He has to learn, like, their technology. They, like, reference all these weird events, like, what was it, the franchise wars? Like, all the restaurants in 2080 are Taco Bell because Taco Bell was the only survivor of the franchise wars. Their version of, like, music, what they call golden oldies, are TV commercials. And that's what got me on this topic in the first place, was like, it's like Demolition Man. I would recommend checking it out. The violence is a bit gruesome, but cartoonish.
Yeah, like, almost not real.
The final messaging is mixed. I think that they are still approaching it from the mentality of, like...
Cops are good.
Yeah. But there's, like, this whole, like, underground resistance movement in 2080 that, like, is kind of I feel like the writers self-insert, like, middle ground. And in this case, like, particular case, I think the middle ground is justified because both extremes are crazy. So I enjoyed it. It's a funny sci-fi adventure romp that again has no right being as good as it is.
You know what I find hilarious
What?
is that people have found a way to make middle ground an extreme view.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about that?
Like the irony.
Yeah. I guess it's
Of
one
it.
of those things where it's like if you're both sidesing without like regard to context or anything, then yeah, it's like, okay, what are you actually doing here? Fuck.
Like people who are pretty much religiously just always I choose the middle option because the middle option is always the best.
Yeah.
It's like, congratulations, you've turned it into an extreme, the very thing
Yeah.
you're claiming to avoid.
Yeah, that and like if you're choosing if you're claiming that both sides are equal, they should actually be equal instead of a case where it's like, well, okay, one side's like fascists and the other
Yeah.
side is like not that.
Like, the middle ground between
Hey, Ollie.
kill all people in X category and let's not kill all people in X category.
Oh, is this Real Talk Hunts part 2?
Kind
guess.
of.
Are we getting there? Are we
If
getting?
people
Are we getting
missed
this?
it the
It's gonna be a
first
thing?
time around.
Yeah. I'm
Oh my
down.
god. Hannah was
It's
craving
kind
Pizza
of-
Hut. And I
Pizza
haven't had
Hut?
it in a really long time.
Hannah, what are you doing with your life? You want Pizza Hut?
Hannah, you're getting judged. Do you want me to tell Nate to fuck off?
Yes. I'm
Nate.
sure she will want to say that to me quite handily.
Nate, Hannah
She-
says fuck off.
Okay.
Nothing. You were getting judged for your
He's
taste
putting
in
words in your
pizza.
mouth. There it is. It's like you
Why
know
did I
her or
faint
something.
Again?
You guys should go out on a date sometime. It's like you know her really well.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think she really likes me that way.
I wouldn't like you either.
So, I'm not quite sure how I fainted that time.
The roar.
I don't know. Forest
thought we
Druid,
had
hello.
airport.
Welcome to
When-
the chat.
When he's enraged, the roar damages
Does
you.
damage.
And I don't think earplugs protect from. There's like 3 roar stages, or maybe
Yeah.
there's 4 roar stages now. And large earplugs only protects you from the first 2.
Oh,
believe.
okay.
It's weird. I don't know
Yeah,
if
it's
there's
very-
extra large earplugs as a skill. Why am I on my fucking dog? It's because I'm a dummy. There, yeah, hit me, daddy.
Jeez. What we got? Come on, say something. Ow. Never mind.
I
That's
feel
not what I
like
wanted.
I feel like if anybody's doing the hitting, it's us.
True.
True. All right, 2 down, 1 to go.
By the way, if you're in chat, I guess we're doing periodic checks just to make sure we sound okay.
Yeah, yeah. Tonight's hunts is literally just because when we uploaded the last one, you could only hear Cameron for some reason.
My computer just decided I'm the only one that needs to be heard.
Oh no.
Cameron, that is very ironic considering what we were talking about last night.
Forest Druid says
Yeah.
we sound fine.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Like, last night was like a lot of talk about trans issues, and
Yeah,
your computer
it
decided,
sucks
let's
that-
not listen to the trans
Yeah, exactly.
person."
Maybe we got censored by
My
some
computer
like cabal
is-
of
yeah.
YouTube.
My computer is a bigot. Do we want to? I guess we could. If people can hear us, let's fucking recap from last time. You want to
Recap.
do the thing, Osprey?
I'm
Or
not
is this
sure
more
how
like-
to
Uh,
No.
Yeah.
sum it up? How do I sum this up?
Let's see. Don't make learning about trans issues a burden on trans people. They're not in charge of you becoming a better person. You
Ooh,
should do it
yeah.
yourself.
We can do it that way. Nate, what did you learn yesterday?
I learned that I am a woefully ignorant person in a lot of topics, and I haven't been, and because I've been like a decent person, it's given me like,
It's
the excuse
awfully
of,
white
oh,
of
I
you to
got,
call yourself decent, but keep going.
yeah, exactly. um, but I've learned that there's a lot more work that needs to be done for me. Just because I'm not actively opposing, an agenda or anything, doesn't mean that I can't do more to champion it as well. Learn more, be a better ally, that kind of thing. But it is not on the people who it directly affects or the people who are in direct danger to educate the people who should be helping them. It should fall on the ones on other people, the actual people who need to learn the differences and the subtleties and the courtesies to figure that out. I mean, you can ask, but you better put forth the effort to actually learn on your own. That is not to
And-
say that you make them your teacher by default. Go find it for yourself.
And we discussed the concept of emotional labor?
Emotional labor. Yeah, that was the concept that I've been learning more and more about. So, like, for example, Osprey, you were talking to us about how if someone misgenders you, the whole point is to not make it a big thing. Just say,
Okay,
oops,
Liv.
sorry, and then just fix it. Don't make a big deal out of it, because the minute they flip out and they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm just a horrible person. I'm trying so hard," blah blah blah. It is now put on you. The emotional labor is now forced on you to calm them down and make them feel like they're okay. They're a good person still.
To validate.
Yep.
Yeah, to validate them, and it's not your problem.
You know what's ironic? Is it ends up making me makes me feel the need to try to validate them right after they invalidated me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that shouldn't be your burden to bear, nor should it be an expected norm either. I had a conversation where I was telling someone that I will make stupid, ignorant stuff, and I just told them to please teach me, and that was such a bullshit, mediocre white man statement that I've regretted it ever since I've said it, and I have since been on a quest to educate myself, both to learn myself and to learn others, and have a greater appreciation for people who are different than me. So, yeah.
I will say the difference comes from being open to making it clear you're open to accept criticism,
Yes.
rather than you have to tell me if I mess up.
Yeah. And if Tuesday nights are any indication, I am completely fine with being criticized.
You know what the most bullshit excuse I've heard for someone misgendering me is?
What?
You see all these gray hairs? It means I'm old and forgetful.
Oh, bullshit.
yeah.
Bullshit.
This was
Old
the
and
receptionist when I was getting my eyes checked.
Uh-huh.
I corrected her like 3 or 4
Oh, God.
times.
Cameron, get out of here. Be smart.
3 or 4 times and they're still not getting the message, huh?
And she again used the whole
I'm old,
excuse
so I don't
of,
have to try anymore.
I'm old, so it's hard for me to remember, and I'm just like, hey, you know what? I have gray hairs too.
Jeez. I
I'm going
cannot
gray early.
stand that mentality. Like, if you're done learning about the world, why don't you just die? Like, I'm sorry, that sounds really extreme, but
Yeah.
what is living if not trying to learn more about yourself or the world around you? And if you're not willing to do that work anymore, what are you doing here? Just taking up space.
I mean, I as a general rule do not suggest.
Well, no, I'm not suggesting like killing yourself. I'm saying re-up on your motivation to learn more about others. Like, that's a poor excuse. You're using your age as an excuse not to better yourself or to learn anything. And I can't. I don't know. I'm having a hard time. Maybe because I just feel that about myself. But yeah.
Well,
I'm not even old either. I've just been coasting on being a nice person for a while.
Being, I think the words you used yesterday was being a mediocre white man.
Yeah, that's the new term that's been drilled into my head.
There's a book that I read. I'd have to ask Hannah.
You can
to remind me
read?
the title.
Wow.
Every now and then. I think it's called The History of the Mediocre White Man.
Is it? Maybe that's no. I'm.
Oh,
oh no!
so close.
Okay.
Oh, that's rough. That's rough.
No worries.
Sorry.
it
I was
happens.
every single faint.
It happens.
It's cool.
Oh, update for people who were watching last night. If any of the people on were Atomic Fox got reinstated by the company.
Oh, awesome.
We just need to figure out how to deal with like the $1,200 we need by the 15th. For like rent and food.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the thing. Hey Cheryl, how's it going?
Hi, Cheryl.
Welcome, Gerald. What's going on? Welcome back to another hunting session.
Today's probably
Right.
going to be a shorter one. We were just checking some gear
Yeah.
out. But
Literally just checking.
I believe at some point in the near future there will be some sort of maybe Indiegogo or what's the other a fundraiser. Share it if-
GoFundMe?
Yeah, GoFundMe.
Yeah, I need to figure out if it's because this is going to be a lot of work for multiple people, and if we need the money sooner than that. I'm trying to decide if it's, but at the same time, it still seems kind of fun to do a 24-hour live stream.
They are an event, that's for sure.
Well, and the two aren't necessarily attached, right? You
Yeah.
can still do the fundraiser even if you end up deciding not to do the live stream for some reason.
Heck, I might do the live stream despite the fundraiser.
True.
Do like some Transformers Battleground, some Kingdoms of Amalur, Let's Go Eevee.
Oh, wait, Reckoning?
Amalur. Reckoning!
Fuck, that
I-
game's dope as
Ah.
shit! Nate and
I
I
love
played
that
the
game!
fuck out of it. I forget what.
Yeah,
there
that
was
was
like
college, man.
There was a buy two get one free deal at.
Yes.
It's your
Oh,
turn to pick
oh.
Osprey.
Oh, okay. Let me finish eating my dongo
That's
then.
such a good game.
So,
You-
so here's the thing. They just released some new content for it as free DLC
What?
for Re-Reckoning,
Crazy.
the remake.
That's so cool. I'm loving that they're
So-
doing that.
I thought that
I
whole
have
thing
it
went
on-
under.
So
It's back,
THQ
man.
Nordic
Yeah.
has it now. So they did a remake or a remaster, and then they did let's do Basil. Just for shits and giggles.
Sure.
But they did a re-release basically. And I have that on Xbox.
Oh, it's on Steam
haven't-
too.
I haven't played in ages. But yeah, so I have Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning. I need to
Totally
get the
play
end game
that.
at some point to check out the new content because the new content's end game. But I don't really remember the game.
It's really
so
cool.
Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning is an action RPG, is how I would describe it.
Yeah,
it-
it's like souped up Fable if you're familiar with that old Xbox series.
I compare it to World of Warcraft.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
But
kind of
single
like
player.
it's kind of like if World of Warcraft was single player and a little less hotkey.
And because of that, I really enjoyed it.
Good night, Monza.
Monza, see you later, bud.
Au revoir.
Alright.
Au revoir.
Oh, and I finished Unit 1 on Duolingo for German.
Nice.
Tomorrow will be 3 weeks daily practice without any streak repairs.
Ah.
Daily
That's
practice without any streak repairs.
So Duolingo has
Oh,
Duolingo.
right, the
You
freezes?
see the freezes?
Yeah.
That lets you hold over for a day if you miss it.
Yep.
Although, so I love Duolingo, but I will say Duo is super passive aggressive when you don't do lessons.
Oh, I've been doing my lessons, so I haven't noticed.
Oh, yeah, no, it's
Yeah,
just
maybe-
like, oh, you're
maybe-
like they. Oh no, totally. I should get back to doing what I was saying before. But I've gotten messages like, buzzes my phone and everything, that's saying you're making Duo cry.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck off. I'm busy.
Wait, what?
It literally
Duolingo
says like
will
you're
send
making
you notification
Duo
reminders
cry.
to guilt you into practicing, which I actually
Yes.
really enjoy.
just to see what kind of lengths to which they will go to get you
It's
to do
just
it.
I recognize that it's not for everyone. But if there was
Yeah.
a setting to like turn on the passive aggressiveness, it's what motivates me personally.
Are you shame based?
Yes.
Are you shame motivated?
100%.
Oh god.
Which I recognize is not healthy.
No, it's not. No, it's not. But a lot of people are actually shame motivated. I'm finding out.
Um,
And
hello, Zonogre.
I wonder
But,
if there's ways
yeah.
to change the settings on it, because like it probably is shitty for some people, but to be able to have the like option to turn off or up, like toggle the passive aggressiveness of the reminder.
yeah.
How much of
So
my
Osprey, you
grandmother
did
does
your-
Duolingo want to be?
Yeah. So Osprey, you did your stuff.
My stuff.
Your lesson. Sorry, I'm like only half thinking right now. That's not like trying not to get blown up.
Yeah.
Anyway, got your first unit done.
Yep,
That's awesome.
The first chunk of lessons I have hit the legend level on.
Nice.
So, and then every once in a while you have to repair them.
Yeah.
Like every few
I remember
days you
that.
have to do a practice session.
Yeah.
And then the notifications I tend to get are more like, so and so took your first place spot.
Yeah, because you're doing like the competitions.
Well, that's just kind of a
Yeah. There is a league.
general thing.
Um,
Yeah, it's not like
Abby made it up to like platinum or whatever. She was like in the top percentile of her French. She would do that for like a couple hours a day, and then she's like, you know what? Like, I don't know if she's still doing it to that degree, but she's like, it's there to be done. I want to do it.
Yeah.
Like, she's not trying to be better than anybody, but she's just like, I want to get good, and then plus I want to see the top of the food chain here,
She wants to be the very best. Like no one ever
like
was.
no one ever was. There it
learn
is.
them
We
all
all
is my
got there.
real test.
Yeah.
Yes. To
Oh,
speak
fuck.
them all is my real
Okay,
test.
I'm on fire and I'm dying. But I'm gonna be
Translate is
okay.
my cause.
So I actually, the more I'm working on German, the more I kind of want to get into translation.
Yeah?
I'm enjoying figuring out the details between, like, how to say things between the two languages. Like,
And-
I really
Okay.
like that.
Can you remind me?
Yeah.
You were specifying between like vocal audio translation, like a translator. Is it? Am I using the correct language?
So an interpreter does
Interpreter,
auditory. Interpreter is the what the heck? Is the one who does the both people are speaking and you're interpreting for both of them.
You are the bridge between their communication.
Yeah. Whereas, say, a translator is working pretty much with written and is usually just going into their native language from their target language. So, like,
So
I would be
the interpreter
translating...
would be a two-way street. You want to be a one-way street for now.
And work on like texts.
The main thing is I want to work on text. The reason being, I sometimes have auditory processing issues,
Mm.
which is kind of awkward if you're supposed to be translating.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm the kind of person who regularly has to, like, take a moment to process what is said before I can actually register it.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Ah.
I'm the kind of person, if you give me directions, I also want them written down because I'm not going to be able to keep them all in my head at the same time.
I'm familiar
So
with that
there's
personality type.
it's not a personality type. Um,
No, that's true.
so
Learning style, I suppose, or maybe not even learning style. What am I trying to say here? I've experienced people who require that particular set of instructions or to pick up information.
so for
That's
me, I don't speak for everybody who runs into this sort of thing. In my particular case, it's due to auditory processing issues.
okay.
You're saying
I
the
didn't.
cause might not always be the same.
Yeah.
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 Um, like I didn't speak until I was at least 3.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
That's actually one of the things that made the psychologist go, "Oh, you are probably autistic." Like that's one of the. It's not always a thing,
But it is
but it's one of.
associated.
It's a common symptom, is delayed speech. I also had chronic ear infections when I was super little.
Me too.
Me
I was a
too.
Um,
week
I
away
had to
from getting
get
tubed.
I had to get because I kept getting holes in my ears. I had to get like tubes installed,
I almost
Yeah.
did.
and then
um,
I got a surgery to patch like my left eardrum when I was like 6 or something.
I didn't have holes in my ears. I just kept getting ear infections.
Well, maybe I'm misremembering. I think they put holes in my ears to try and improve drainage from the infections or something. So,
That's usually what the tubes do.
yeah.
The holes would be another thing. That would, and I'm not an expert, so take what I say with a grain of salt. Um,
Yeah.
it it would be more likely that you had damage from the ear infections,
Yeah.
and that's what they had to repair.
Yeah.
Um, like I nearly had my eardrum rupture from one of the ear infections when I was an infant
Ooh.
because all the medical professionals were like, "Babies cry, that's what happens." And my mom's like,
Yeah.
"Ooh,
Like,
you don't
no.
understand. My kid
Mm.
doesn't cry for this."
Yeah. Oh shit.
Like,
So yeah, it's one of those things. But I got excited about getting to be around other kids, and that's when I started talking. So everybody wrote it off as just I needed more peers around.
hmm. Okay.
But
That's interesting. You were just more motivated to develop that part of your brain when you were around peers then?
I think a lot of it is I think I was willing to fight more, if that makes sense.
Oh, okay.
Because I know, like, from experience, sometimes wording is just flat out a lot of work for my brain
Hmm.
to verbalize things, and occasionally I do just kind of, how do I even speak?
Yeah.
Um, the more distressed I get, the harder it is for me to talk.
Ah,
Like I can type all day long,
okay.
even if I'm distressed, but the second I try to vocalize if I'm distressed, it gets very challenging.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I actually want to learn sign language at some point.
Ooh, sign language is cool. I studied
Um,
for about a year, so it was cool. A lot of fun.
it's a good thing to know for accessibility.
Yes.
Like if I knew how to do decent subtitles on our streams, I would encourage that. But I don't know how to do that live, and I don't have the skills or the energy to put subtitles on our.
It's something. It's something that I've thought about exploring before. I believe there is software that we could use, but I don't know the price of it.
See, that's part of what frustrates me. Is that it's a price point.
Yeah.
Hey, I haven't fainted this hunt.
Still kicking
Just
my
had to
butt,
brush
though.
off some cobwebs.
Yeah.
I've been doing all
Hell.
sword and shield up until now, and I switched to bow, and now my brain is like, oh, paradigm shift.
Ah, yeah, that would do it. Wait, why are you doing sword and shield?
I've been doing sword and shield like this, like all last night and all up until now, up until this hunt.
Shows how much I pay attention.
Well, Cameron mentioned it last night. I dabble in a lot of different weapons in this game. I can't
That's fair.
I would say bow has been my main historically, but I do sword and shield, dual blades, long sword. I even do great sword. I actually was our first gunner of the group, and then I picked up hammer and world, and I think the only things I don't do are the lances and the horn.
Any particular reasoning?
The lances just didn't ever interest me, and the horn, I don't know. Horn is, I actually really appreciate the horn. The horn is the one weapon I'm always overjoyed to see in my group if I'm ever hunting. I just don't want to be the one to do it. Yep, everybody needs a white mage. Nobody wants to be him though.
I like it.
See, in other games, I will play the healer. In this one, because I was trying to learn solo, hunting horn solo is kind of... if you're not used to the game...
Yeah, it's a hard one to learn on. What I do like about healing in Monster Hunter is it's aggressive healing. I heal by hitting stuff.
Yeah, I hit you to heal you good.
Cathartic healing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, like in Final Fantasy XIV when I was playing, I was primarily a white mage.
Ooh.
I've heard that game is really good, but I don't know if I have time
enjoy
for
it.
an MMO. But I've heard
Yeah,
really good things about it.
Well, and it's subscription, which I can't really do right now.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought for some reason one of the things that people liked about it was that it was like somehow free.
No.
Or no. Am I thinking, is 14 the newest Final Fantasy MMO?
It's the current Final Fantasy.
It's the current one, okay.
I don't know.
And it had like a really bad launch and they kind of rebuilt it.
Yeah, they literally remade in canon. The universe got remade.
Yep. Everything just kind of got wrecked, and nobody remembers much about the previous. Except that there were heroes of light that they can't remember the faces of.
That's kind of neat. I like that.
And they're like, you remind us of that, of those heroes of light.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Has Atomic Fox talked at all about EVE Online and how it jumped the shark very recently?
Oh, has it?
Jumped the shark?
That is a term for when a show or a game has gone on so long that it's kind of lost all meaning in and of itself.
When it refers to an event where something absolutely ridiculous happens in order to keep things fresh, such as in the show Happy Days,
which originated the term.
When they were struggling with ratings and they were like, we need to come up with something dramatic to do. The Fonz decides that he is going to be a daredevil and he is going to motor ski jump over a shark in a pool. It was not well received.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. It usually when things jump to shark, well, that's by definition when things jump to shark is that they've tried something ridiculous and it backfires and then it kills the show.
So for EVE Online, what it was is they announced that they are doing, like, the whole thing is like it's this own story in its own universe and what you do in the game matters. And then they went and announced they are doing a crossover with Doctor Who. And not a lot of people are happy.
Oh, no.
Hi, NoobTube.
Hi, NoobTube.
By the way, I am now Hunter rank 86.
Woo!
Nice.
Getting there.
My goal is to hit 100 and defeat Valstrax before
I think, Nate, it's your turn.
Is it my turn? Okay.
before the Sunbreak comes out.
Which isn't... Do we have a date on that yet?
Oh yeah, when is that? I don't actually know.
I think it's summer this year.
Yeah, so
Sunbreak
it'll
comes out
definitely
summer?
happen.
know.
That's weird.
Well, we've been playing a lot of Rise recently. Like, we've been getting back on the
Yeah.
grind.
It's been a recent uptake. Ooh,
I'd
we
like
haven't
it.
done him in a while. Let's do this one.
You know, part of what I like about this is how I got started with y'all.
Yeah,
That's true.
it's a little
Getting back to the roots
nostalgic.
here.
Like
Voice.
it's nice.
Yeah.
This is also the game that made me think maybe I'm not as bad at gaming as I think I am.
Oh no. At least no worse than we are for sure. At least that much.
But yeah, if we do the 24-hour live stream, I'll try to choose a time for Code Vein that like you and maybe Tom can be on for, so you can watch me fumble around with this possibly Dark Souls-esque game.
Yeah, I'll check around and see who knows the game, and then we'll make a posse for you.
Don't forget your poison bombs or kunai or whatever. If we poison Kushala Deora, then its wind cloak.
Oh yeah, it doesn't
dissipates.
work. Yeah.
Oh, I did
Let me
not
see if
know
I
that.
have any of those. Do I have any of those? I don't know anymore.
Oh god, I have so many things in my inventory.
I have some poison smoke bombs.
I have poison sacks.
I have
Oh.
poison sumac.
There's so many items. I don't know how to... I don't know what I have. Poisoned meat? Oh, that's for traps.
Yeah, that's for
Poison smoke
traps.
bomb. There we go.
Yeah, I feel like it's really only Devil Joe and Tigrex that eat the meat.
Mm-hmm. You think they would do more with that, since they have so many different types of meat?
Yeah.
Hey,
Not
Cameron.
like one
Yes.
general tainted meat.
Cheryl has a question.
Cheryl, what's up? Oh, after
we do
Valstrax, will you be doing? I think so. It feels like we're still doing stories on Mondays, so the Hunter streams are kind of going to be random like this, and I think with my work schedule and stuff, I'm not down to commit to a regular stream night quite yet. Odds are it's Thursdays. Thursdays seem to work
If you
for me.
really
okay.
love us, you'll make time for us.
But
You can
I
totally
know
talk to
we
you about
want to do World, and our friend the Atomic Fox, a little while ago they expressed interest in playing it. I know life's gotten hectic and stressful, so the World might be a little bit until we hop back to it. But if we can peer pressure Nate into joining me for Generations Ultimate, I am totally down to do Generations Ultimate after we do Valstrax.
And I'll be the peanut gallery.
Yeah, because
Yay.
it's kind of like when Osprey's playing stories, he shows me the monsters and stuff in it, and then when I play Generations Ultimate, I get to show him the monsters and stuff, and I like that. And Nate
I'm
can
not.
walk uphill both ways.
Being
Like a
completely
real
unqualified
hunter.
for either.
Yeah, back in my day, we didn't have things like eating in camp or
Oh my god. So, a fun story. I was actually talking to somebody about Pokemon, and I was doing the whole back in my day special was one stat. And almost everybody was poisoned, blah blah blah. Just for shits and giggles. I wasn't serious.
Yeah.
And then I ended it with back in my day everything was worse. I'm glad it's better now.
100%.
Aw.
100%.
That's the way it should be.
It's-
That's refreshing.
I dunk on Sword a lot. but I really dunk on it because I um, I tease it for not being super engaging in its single player to me, but in its multiplayer, it is the best Pokemon has ever been. Oh,
We're straight into the Black Wind.
I love that it's so much easier to breed and get your EVs and IVs the way you need them to battle. I love, like you said, Osprey, that you can like create a team and then rent it out to other players to let them play it without, even if they don't have like their Pokemon all the way they want them. They have that option. Like that is so cool. The idea of rental sharing is such a cool idea.
Well, like that's part of why I was like, if you decide to try out competitive,
Yeah,
create your own profile, and then just use a rental team once you get pretty early on in the game.
yeah, yeah. Like I like that idea a lot. I Dynamaxing and Gigantamaxing are neat ideas. I don't know that like I find a lot of engagement with them, but it seems like players who are playing the game really like them. It seems like it's gotten generally very positive responses, even more so than like Megas, which is
So-
cool.
I think Megas are
Sorry.
still my favorite.
So my problem with megas, and there's a mild rant incoming, is it kind of becomes another here's a way to show favoritism to our favorite Pokemon.
Yeah, that's fair.
Whereas with Dynamaxing, every Pokemon can at least Dynamax.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Also, so when you do the Dynamax moves, like Max Win, like Max Flare and stuff like that, it also does stat changes to your team.
yes,
So that adds another level of not only do you get a powerful move, you get some stat boosts as well, and people will utilize that to buff up their team during the fight. Or like some will do like electric terrain or something, which boosts certain things and whatnot. So it adds a layer of strategy, but you can only be Dynamaxed or Gigantamaxed for 3 turns
yes,
in an entire fight, so you have to make it count,
yeah,
which adds a really cool layer of strategy,
yes. Agreed.
and has actually been part of why I've lost some of the competitive matches I've done. Is because people managed to get their team boosted so much that I'm just like, I can't keep up.
Yeah,
Does
it's
Sword
don't-
and Shield have asymmetric fights? Like one of you Gigantamaxes and has to fight 4 people? That'd be kind of fun.
I mean, there's the dens where there's a
Well, I know you can like raid a den or whatever. It's like like a 4-on-1 deal. But like, what if it was asymmetrical like player combat? You get to like be the Gigantamax thing, and you have to fight 4 trainers, like 4 other trainers.
with how things are balanced. Honestly, I feel like the Dynamax person would not
Yeah, I guess that's
usually
fair.
win.
yeah. Dynamaxing is designed like the raids aren't just Dynamax; they also have like stat boosts.
They also get extra turns, and it's
Yeah. Because Dynamaxing is balanced for multiplayer, they needed to do extra stuff to make the raids competitive. You'd have to give all that stuff to like a player. I don't know if there'd be a ton of appetite for that.
yeah, because honestly, the raids are kind of my least favorite part. Just because it's like that should have done more damage, but they have that ridiculous shield thing
Yeah.
that, and like one of the cool things about Dynamax is certain moves turn into max guard,
Any
which will
status
block.
move does, right?
Yeah, which will pretty much turn any basically block pretty much any attack.
Is it like a protect essentially?
Yeah, it's like protect but better.
Okay, I'll run this guy into some walls here.
But yeah, like I really appreciate some of what Sword and Shield has done. I feel like keeping a little more to the route formula would have been good,
Yeah.
rather than trying to do the wild area the way they did. But for a first time experiment, for that
Yeah,
kind
that
of
was-
inclusion,
Yeah, Pokemon hasn't been very innovative in a long time, I don't think. Like, not in a major way.
I think the most exciting one is Legends of Arceus. Oh god, I know.
Arceus.
Thank you.
So I saw how it was actually spelled in the Japanese, and it makes more sense now. So, Arceus.
Yeah, I feel like we've talked about it a couple times, and you remind me every time, and I just like my head blanks. I gotta stick that one in.
Originally, I thought it was Arceus, and then you said it was Arceus, and I was like, "Are you right?" And yes, you were. I did not realize how it was spelled in the Japanese, so I was going based off of an assumption that was not entirely accurate. Um.
Eat.
Oh yeah, I need to sharpen.
Sharpen.
You guys and your melee weapons that need sharpening. My arrows are always sharp, no matter what I'm doing.
Can you imagine that well, you sharpen a hammer. You should.
Yeah,
They should make you
right.
sharpen your bow.
That would be ridiculous.
Just
That'd be great.
hold on, just a
I
second
do.
here.
I do love that they make you sharpen a fucking hammer.
Yeah.
I saw a comic on Reddit, I think it was, about that.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, where the monster just kind of like, what?
Yeah, like why? Like, oh, I just have to
What
shape
are
it
we
into a hammer again.
Ooh, Bobcat.
Like I guess like yeah, I guess if there was like an integrity, like a structural integrity factor, but sharpening a freaking hammer.
Yeah, I feel like that's one of those things where
Oh,
they
yeah, I might
they
die.
should have renamed it once they realized they were gonna have more than just sharp weapons, but
Mm-hmm.
and it may be a translation thing. I don't know what the actual Japanese says.
Oh, that's a good point. Maybe in Japanese it's like, I don't know, bolster,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Refresh.
recoat, temper.
That's how it should freaking work. All right, so they have these coatings that you can get like, you get so many shots with bow. I'm not sure if any of you are actually even familiar with the mechanics of bow.
No, I'm not a coward.
But-
Not really.
Like you get these coatings that are supposed to be like, especially in the older games, it's your bread and butter of how you do different elemental damages or even just elevated damage.
You have like infinite arrows.
Well, you have infinite normal arrows, but you put these coatings on, and you'll have like between 20 and 50, or maybe even 99 shots. But every one counts off your like every single one counts off your overall count. Like you only have so many.
Your ammo
And if
is
you're-
the coating itself.
Yeah, your ammo is the coating itself for that particular type of shot. You can craft more,
Oh shit.
but
Run.
what if I can't?
What?
There we go. But what if instead of having so much like so and so coat times 99, you just had to reapply your arrow coating via like sharpening. Yes, if that's what you were gonna do.
I think the reason they do it the way they do actually is to keep up a little more of the flexibility of the bow.
Yeah, I suppose so. Like, what if they would just do like make it a quiver mechanic instead, where you could do like you could get different size quivers, so you'd have to like instead of like certain what weapons will require more sharpening more often, and you can like take skills to like minimize that or having to do it. What if it was, instead of sharpening, it's just you have to like restock the arrows. You have to stop and like restock them. It takes the same amount of time in terms of animation, and it's just a different context. And they go and make the same thing can be held for like different coatings, like different poisons or elemental coatings or whatever. I think it's something worth considering.
Yeah. So when I analyze game mechanics, one of the main things I try to do first is try to figure out what the purpose was.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just kind of an automatic thinking process on my part, rather than a.
And Monster Hunter has a really interesting history that illuminates a lot of like the weird idiosyncrasies that it has. So like nowadays, it's like a kind of action. I'd almost call it action adventure, like boss rush game. The core gameplay is around the boss rush. For the earlier games, especially the first two games, they were attempting to make an actual hunting simulator. You just were hunting fantastical creatures. So like some of the decisions in their weapon design, especially things in regards to like the way you gather resources, still have like their roots in that older like hunter simulation that they really no longer, I'd say since like really
minimally adhere
third
to
edition, they don't really worry about it anymore.
3 Ultimate maybe.
Like I'd call Monster Hunter DOS the last Monster Hunter simulation
good
game.
Monster Hunter game.
No, well, like
Then why are you playing?
the Hunter game? But I'd say that when it changed genres, it became a better game, even if it's not the same genre. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes a lot of sense. I was giving Nate shit for the joking comment of
it's the last good Monster Hunter game back in my day.
Well, I don't know. You never played that.
No,
one,
I didn't.
right?
3 Ultimate. Yeah, no, never. 3 Ultimate was my first game.
Yeah.
So you did
well past that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well past that.
See, I didn't know which ones you had played, so I wasn't sure which kind of joke it was.
Yeah, if anyone is even remotely familiar with my Monster Hunter history, which I have stated before, I am well out of my depth, and the absurdity of that statement is deeper than you think.
Oh, we gotta be close. And I don't think we fainted once here.
Well, you say that.
Yeah,
now I'm going to have to go and prove you wrong.
Well...
Be a dick move to die right now.
Fuck me. Oh, no. I thought he was going to pounce.
Man.
Hey!
There it
is.
Well done, everyone.
All right. I think I got time for one more, and then call it a stream.
I can do one. I can do
All
one more.
right. I'm cool with
Sounds good to me.
Mystery is unresolved, but
We'll
whatever.
see how this one goes.
Yeah, I guess that's true. It would be such a weird thing though if somehow like YouTube and Twitch playback lost data like I mean I don't know how they're coded, but that like hurts my brain to think of that.
So on OBS, microphone input and desktop sound input are completely separate.
Yes.
So there may be, like, if it does happen with this one, it would probably be a case of there's an error with the desktop sound on OBS.
Yeah, but once the data is passed to Restream, OBS doesn't touch it anymore. So if people heard it live, it had to successfully pass through OBS. Is the thing that breaks my brain.
Let's see. Hunter rank 87.
Nice.
I feel like I'm just going to be going up like one at a time. So that
Basically.
means um 13 more hunts.
And it also depends on how much newbie friendly, like newbie helping you might do, because those you'll get less experience for.
Yeah, that's true.
Who is sending me shit?
Where?
Yeah, oh, it's in Monster Hunter.
Uh,
I think Rain wanted me to guild card stuff. Hunter Connect stuff. What do we got? Oh god, that's a lot of connects. Anything? Helping Hunters Hub? Nah. Indonesian Hunters? Oh, Jadeezus. That's a fun one. Team Tax Exemption? VTuber Connect? Oh, is Jadeezus a VTuber? Alright, we got Ho-Ho's Hose, Family, Organization 13, Sunshine Empire, Discord.gg.
Organization 13? What are you talking about?
These are like Connect names. Helping Hunters Hub, Neo Hunters, Monster Hunters
Organization
Anonymous,
13.
Farm, 2% Drop Rate Gang, Rising Valor, Indonesian Hunters, Team Tax Exemption, VTuber Connect Grind. If anyone is looking to join a hunt, I don't know who started it. Maybe it was Osprey, maybe it was Tom. There is the Arbitrary Hero Connect.
yeah, I don't know how connects work. It wasn't me.
Ooh, Rain got what you got for us, Rain? Ooh, Ibushi. Oh, Wind Serpent Ibushi. Sure, why not? It's been a while since we beat up that dude.
I don't remember how to do this fight.
This is like the fight with he like summons a bunch of obstacles from the ground, and we fire machine guns at him.
It's so cool.
I was terrible at that one. We'll see how it goes this time.
Eat for
Fine.
water.
Dragon.
Dragon?
Already.
Pretty sure it's dragon. I don't know.
I'll eat for dragon.
Just bring a lot of null berries.
Yep. No berries are in my auto loadout. Yeah, I ate my normal Dongo Medic. I forget the names of the other two.
All right, let's do this.
This is a fight I haven't done in a while. I don't think anybody here has. Okay. Oh yeah, don't forget your super spirit bird.
Yep.
Spirit bird.
Smoke bomb. Ninja dust. Okay.
We get these songs out here.
I'm trying to remember the difference between this fight and the Narwa fight.
This is like the first third of that fight.
This dude doesn't do the rings as much, I think.
Or maybe at all? Yeah, I feel like that's dragon he's putting out right now.
How can you tell?
Ooh.
Usually red and black lightning means it's dragon.
And then when he's down, you hit them sacks.
Oh, I was on the head.
Well, that's
Yeah, it's all the same. More damage. All damage.
Oh, yeah, so like that one, we had earplugs on, but we still flinched. But it didn't
He still
hurt
knocked
us.
me out of the air.
Alright. Climb up on a platform. And then find yourself a gun.
Ah.
Shoot him, shoot him, shoot him, shoot him. Shoot him.
Udo! There it is. We did it.
Is there another Jurassic World movie coming out this year? Is that something that happened, or did the vid...
God, I don't care.
the vid delayed the vid? I'm actually
I don't know.
I thought the last movie was schlock, but I'm kind of excited for where they're going with the world, where it's like, nope, now there's just dinosaurs everywhere.
Well, like if they do it like apocalyptic style, like they jump ahead like 20 years and everyone's like back into the days of hunting and gathering because
I don't think that's what they're
now
doing.
we're just.
They,
I think that's what they're gonna do.
They wouldn't want to age out Chris Pratt's character.
See, that's like 90%
please.
of why I don't care, is because I kind of hate Chris Pratt.
He's a knob.
Yeah.
He's a terrible person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's dumb. He is a dumb.
I'd be curious to see. Fucking come on.
Sit still so I can hit you.
Oh, he sat still. He sat me still.
Ah.
Damn it.
I'd be curious to see what, like... I feel like Chris Pratt has taken up all these voice acting roles as a way to keep acting while avoiding COVID vaccine.
Yeah, that's a pretty good theory.
He can, like, stay home and work on it. So I'd be curious to see if his, like, live action stuff just gets diminished.
Falls off completely.
Like, I think they already recorded Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Yeah.
But like whatever Marvel stuff comes after that stuff, I wonder if like his character gets kind of benched.
That honestly I would like that. Like,
Come on.
I mean, I don't know if Star-Lord undergoes a metamorphosis, but who cares?
Oh, like recast?
Yeah.
Why not? They did it with.
I like the character of Star-Lord. Like I like the concept of him.
yeah,
They recast War Machine. Why not recast Star Wars?
Yeah, but that was after the very first Marvel movie, like in this particular whole entire saga ever made.
That's fair.
like I will say I do have some qualms with how. Then again, I have a lot of qualms with how some of the stuff was written in the Marvel universe. So.
Oh.
You mean
curious
like
to hear about that
general
at some point.
critique or like moral issues?
Like a lot of critique about for lack of a better term, the mechanical side of the storytelling.
Oh.
Like
Might
especially
have-
with some of the end game stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
I'd be curious to hear
Go
your
on
opinion
and-
for sure.
Yeah, give us your
You-
spiel.
If you want to get on your soapbox, you absolutely can right now. I really want to know.
so
I wanna know.
Can you show me? Anyway, sorry.
I mean, I guess we're past the point where spoilers are concerned, huh?
If you're watching this and you're not, how far are you gonna spoil? You said Endgame.
I think it was Endgame. Which ones were the two big?
Endgame and Infinity War.
Yeah.
Infinity War, and then Endgame in that order.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you haven't seen those two Marvel movies and you care about spoilers,
Stuck out now.
Yeah,
This
leave
is
now.
the last hunt of the night anyway. Good night.
yeah.
As I get thrown around by Ibushi.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like certain things were way too contrived. like it felt like too much. There was the very noticeable hand of the author. Um, especially with some of the Doctor Strange stuff. In Infinity War and Endgame. Also, how they went about the whole character deaths, but not character deaths for some of the characters that died in Infinity War and Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
I felt were very poorly handled. And it just felt like
You
if
mean
the
stuff?
characters had thought...
Can you name? Just because there were a
Like-
lot, so
Like, with Black Widow, that character death was just... It felt like they
Glossed
threw it
over.
in to throw it in.
Yeah.
And they hadn't really given the character enough.
Yeah. It was.
Yep.
Her movie was supposed to have come out way before this movie, so it was supposed to have a higher impact for her going away.
Oh, I didn't realize it
yeah.
was actually supposed to
Yeah,
come
that
out.
movie, the one of the reasons why it isn't like so great is because it was actually made and written like a long time ago. They just finally got around to doing it. So like you were supposed to care about her because it was supposed to have already have happened.
Gotcha. That
Yeah.
that makes a little more sense.
Yeah. That being said,
I-
the way they handled it was really dumb. When they
Yeah.
knew they weren't going to be doing that in the order they thought they were.
Well, and the whole I can't think of her name at the moment.
Scarlett Johansson.
Green Girl.
No. Yeah.
Oh, Gamora? Yeah.
Yeah. The whole thing with her was
Dumb.
Where they did the comic
Yeah.
book like alternate universe version of her comes back sort of thing.
yeah, it felt like it kind of cheapened things. And
It is
like
definitely one of the things I don't like about actual comics.
Yeah. No one ever gets to quit. Ever.
yeah. Like I can kind of get it with comic books where you have a lot of people trying to write the same characters over a long period of time. Like, I get that there's multiple versions of these characters. But with this one, it just felt like they literally just went, we don't want to actually kill off this character, so we'll bring her
They're too
back,
popular.
but she doesn't remember anything. So, have fun with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like,
That way we get to
Cool.
rehash the same will they won't they thing all over again.
you know, and like,
And in my case, in my opinion, I don't think they should.
yeah.
Because X-Men.
But like also, like the whole Star-Lord just gets so upset that he ruins everything for everyone in the universe. Just
Yeah. It's totally about him, even just for
Oh,
like
see, but I like that for me because like to me Star-Lord is still like this emotionally
He's a-
stunted man-child. So like
But-
him
played by
him
yes,
actually
enough about his actor.
fucking
We
up.
get it. We're talking about the character.
so here's my problem with that. There was literally an entire thing in the first Guardian movie where it's like, why do you want to save the world? I'm one of the idiots who lives in it. Doing what
Yeah.
he did with Thanos and just losing control like that directly just does not mesh with that.
Interesting.
What is the universe if the person you care about most doesn't live in it anymore, though?
For me,
I think
guess-
that's what the cop out they're trying to
well,
find.
for me, I think I believe a character who makes an intellectually dumb decision based on an emotional reaction. Like that's still a believable thing to me. But I can
That's
I can
because
see what you
everybody
mean.
around you makes them, and you have to deal with it all the time.
Why can't
So
we be more
emotional.
like robots.
Yes, I wish.
Like, it just, like, the one I understood was more like not going for, like, completely going berserk and ruining all chance of, actually killing the person you're upset at. is different than, like, I don't know. It's also been a little bit, so maybe I'm misremembering.
No,
stuff.
but it's also like right different tastes and all that. Like I follow you.
And I think some of it was, it felt like they spent the whole movie just trying to herd the characters in a direction that didn't fully work.
Yeah, I think at that point it's almost logistically based, like people's schedules. This isn't the only movie they're doing. Not to mention that maybe there's some Pride stuff going on. I mean, I doubt that it was also a matter of like making sure all the fans get enough face time with each hero as proportional to how popular they are or how long they've been in the franchise or whatever, you know. I feel like there's a lot of like logistical, real life, behind the scenes stuff that we don't know about.
Yeah.
That might
Yeah,
kind of thing.
though I also kind of hate Civil War with a passion, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's interesting.
that that's one of those things I would probably want to type my thoughts out on
Fair.
Yeah.
and like refresh my memory on a couple of things.
Can I ask if it's a matter of like private citizenry or something like?
Right?
I guess I'm just curious about like your thesis statement. Like I'm curious about the whole opinion, but like, I'm just wondering if your problem with it is about private citizens being vigilantes or identification of government or I don't know what's your. I guess I'm asking you in one sentence, what's your beef with it?
If Iron Man had just been willing to go to therapy.
Ah,
Oh, see, that's
Yes.
interesting because I believe that Iron Man was right.
aha. Well, we know
See-
who the totalitarian fascist is.
Captain
in our
America's a libertarian. He's trying to.
So I will say a lot of the problem that Cap had with the thing they wanted him to abide
Sign.
by and sign
group. Yeah.
basically treats his team as if they're weapons, not people.
But they are.
They're still individuals with
But
feelings,
they're not,
and like
though.
one of them is literally from a different world. Therefore, expecting that person to be,
Abide by. Yeah.
well, be directly answerable and basically forced
And then-
into a weapon role for.
For a single government, or well, not even a single government. Maybe it's just.
Well, in that case, the Sokovia Accords was like a UN thing. But for me, it's like
fair.
if you have a bunch of dudes with like nuclear reactors and bombs in their chests, like it sucks that they're gonna lose their personal liberties, but you can't let that walk around.
I like how you said that and not they or them.
Again, it's a nuclear
Already
bomb.
dehumanizing them.
It's a nuclear bomb.
So, 1 second, I'm gonna still be playing, but I'm trying to hear something the atomic
Okay.
box is
Oh,
saying.
sure thing.
Gotcha.
Can you speak up a little bit? Okay. This is the last hunt. Is it okay to wait till after this hunt?
Getting close.
I'm not 100% sure.
Ah. Oh.
About how long do we think we have left on this hunt?
We're
We
close.
just
We see
got
the
the
blue
blue
skull.
face, so yeah, blue skull.
Not long. Okay.
Yeah, not long. We're in the last
5
like
minutes?
30%
5
of it,
minutes?
maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
We can lay it on. We can lay the herd on pretty quick.
I I do feel like it should have been a little bit more of a dialogue than just oh, hey, we signed this paperwork, you have to sign it. Or we created this paperwork, you have to sign it.
Yeah, it could have been. I mean, and again, it's like a superhero movie, so they can't like talk it out because that's not what the audience wants. But it had the potential to be a like much more. It could have been a court drama, and I could have been really interested in that. Like make it a Star Trek New Generation style episode.
Mm-hmm. That would have never gone over well.
No, they didn't have the chutzpah.
Right.
And there were some other things.
It is interesting because I agree with you about mutants. I cannot explain to you what the difference is. Maybe it's because like Captain America signed up for that shit, and Iron Man, like, he's not a superhero. He just has a lot of guns.
So, I'm not gonna lie. I think part of my issue with Iron Man is he kept talking about all the problems they've accidentally caused with their powers.
And it's been him very
90%
specifically.
of those are him.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Guys, we fuck up so much. Tony, when you say we...
Yeah.
yeah, like,
Making a lot of assumptions here, buddy.
So, I actually have to go, so
Yep.
I will talk to you all next time.
Have a good night.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
Later.
All right. And we're going to call this a live stream here. Again, thanks for the last minute sound check, everyone. I will sort out whatever our issues were. And we'll catch you on